Hi everyone, it's AJ, and I was just reflecting on some of the names that some of my trading peers, my investment partners have had for me over the years, and one of them was the most disciplined options trader. Now, behind my back, I know that they used to call me the laziest option trader. I like to think of myself as the most efficient option trader because I like to get from point A to point B as quickly and as efficiently with the least amount of effort as possible. That means I use the least amount of investment dollars to get the most amount of profit and have the least amount of risk, but it also means that I do it in the fewest number of steps with the least amount of emotional ups and downs. As you know, if you're doing any sort of active investing, especially if it's in the markets, that when something's going your way, you could have a real high, and at the same time, if things are going against you, you could have a real low. And what I like to do is try to keep my emotions evenly keeled. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I cut up my day, the timing of my day, what I do on a day-to-day basis in actively investing. But before I do that, I'm going to ask you a little bit of a favor. I know most of you are listening to me either on a podcast or you're watching a YouTube channel or a Facebook video or you're catching me on Instagram. And in order to help me kind of work with the various algorithms, I'm going to ask you to please like what you're listening to today, subscribe to my channels, and sign up for the notifications. That'll help me a lot. Plus, you'll get a lot of amazing content as I produce it. So let's get right into the meat of this. Let's talk about the dissection of the investing day or the market day. So if we were to look at an intraday stock chart, for instance, the first hour of the day I like to call amateur hour. And if you think about it, that's when a lot of amateur investors, people who aren't full-time investors, right before they go off to their day job, they place a lot of their trades, and it causes a lot of volatility throughout that first hour as their trades are getting filled and as they're placing it before they kind of turn off their machine or stop calling their brokers and go off and do what they do during the day. So you can use that volatility to your benefit if you're trying to get some sort of dream price. At the same time, you could stay away from it if you're trying to get a very more predictable price, a very more understanding of what is happening during the investing session. So that's amateur hour. Then from amateur hour till about 12:45 in the afternoon, we have our morning session. And that's where investors listen to a lot of economic news. They kind of digest what was happening the previous day. And that's where the first half of the session kind of establishes itself. And then you've got the afternoon session when folks come back from lunch. It's often very even keeled. I like to do a lot of my opening of positions during the afternoon session, unless of course there's some sort of media news that I know is scheduled or something that's going to be happening in the afternoon. The afternoon's a great time to really understand what has happened for the first half of the day and open up a lot of your positions. And of course, the last hour of the day is what we call professional hour. That's when a lot of the big money investors are closing out their portfolios of the day and whatever they were trying to do in the morning and afternoon sessions. This is where they're closing their positions. And it can give you a lot of indications of what's going to happen in the next trading session as well as after hours and pre-session. So this defines the day. And again, whether I'm trying to close some positions, getting a dream price that I might be able to take advantage of the volatility during amateur hour, or whether I'm trying to strategically open a position, I'll look during afternoon or professional hour in order to get those positions. But I want you to understand that I can actually pre-program into my trading platforms, the trading platforms my brokers hand me, some conditional orders to happen during these days, and I personally don't get involved with the trading session besides what I set up in the day after. So let's explain what I'm talking about there. After the market is closed, end of day, Anytime between end of day and the next session, I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to review any of my end of day trading plans. These are the plans that I've set up in advance that kind of tells me what I'm going to do with this particular symbol, this underlying symbol, and what sort of contingent or conditional type of option trading I'm going to do against it. So I always have a plan for whatever symbol I'm pursuing. So in the end of day, I'll look to see if any of the triggers of that plan have been activated, if any of the setups have been triggered. And if I see any very confirmed entry or exit signals, I'll take my time and I'll build confidence on those signals, because after all, it is after the closing bell. It's end of day. So I'll go ahead and whatever signal I see, I will go ahead and see if I can build some confidence on it. Now, when I build confidence on that signal, I'm going to use whatever sources that are not actually involved in the generation of that signal to begin with. So if it's a technical signal, for instance, usually technical signals are going to be on some sort of reversal, some sort of top or bottom being found. And however I'm identifying the top or bottom of that stock chart or equities chart, could be an ETF, could be an index, I'm then going to use a different set of indicators, maybe volume, maybe I'll use my point and figure chart, something like that, to build confidence in what I'm seeing. Now, if I have a confident entry or exit signal, that's when I'm going to sit down, and for the next trading session, I'm going to build some conditional order entry rules that I'd like to see filled, like I said. Very simple. I want to keep them on a simple level for a couple reasons. Number one, I don't want them to be something that can't be implemented in the standard conditional order entry rules that our trading platforms give us. So the rules that I might incorporate for the next trading session would be do in the first hour of trading, or wait until the afternoon session, and I could set a time frame. Most of the conditional order entry systems I've seen from the various brokers allow you to set a time frame for your trade to be executed. I might want to make sure that an underlying symbol is going in my direction, and so I'd say something like, make sure that the underlying symbol I'm trading against is greater than this morning's open and yesterday's close. That'll take care of any sort of gapping has gone on. And finally, I might have a target price. Make sure I'm getting a better price than this target price. And so those sort of black and white rules that I can program into a conditional order entry system is what I'm going to implement in the evening for the next trading session. So like I said, that frees up my days so that I can do whatever I want to do during the day. And all I do is come back in the evening and I see whether or not these positions that I set up the previous evening got filled. If they didn't, I'll evaluate whether they should be, set up for the next day, or if the signal went away. If they did get filled, fine. I'll then see, is there any sort of exit signal that I'm seeing for the next day? If not, I'll leave things be. And that is how I structure my day. So everything is done in the evening. I look for my entry and exit signals. If I've got one, I'll build confidence in it. And then if I've got a confident entry or exit signal, I will build conditional order entry rules for the next day. And that keeps things very compact. It makes things very efficient. I'm not getting, tumultuousness throughout my day because of up and downs in the market. And I suggest you adopt something similar, because this will make your trading and your investing very efficient and very good on the time. With that said, I hope you gained something out of this little tidbit I just sent your way. If you did, like I said, please make sure you check out all the various places I post content like this. I've got a very cool podcast. I've got a YouTube channel, I've got a Facebook page, and I've got an Instagram account that I'd love for you to subscribe to. And when you subscribe to those, make sure you like the content you're seeing and sign up for the notifications. That would really help me a lot in working with these various platforms and getting my content to the most eyes. And plus, you'd get some benefit out of it, as you would be the first ones to be notified of any new sort of releases that I give. And I'll be making content like this over and over, and I want you to be part of it. So thanks for your time today. Hope you learned something. See you next time.